Hey everybody, welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and MPD by somebody that has both. Today I want to give you a bit of a, I don't know, is it a more unique or niche take, or I don't know, we'll see how this goes. I never talk a lot about the difference between BPD in men and BPD in women, mainly because I am not a woman with BPD and I have no idea how that feels. But it is said, there's not, do they affect us the same? Does it affect us in the same way? Maybe, but men and women live in very different worlds, especially when we're talking about mental health and feeling the things that BPD makes you feel. And so, in a way, yeah, these things definitely affect us differently. Men are under a very different set of pressures, a different set of rules that we're working to. And we have different things available to us to play these things out. Our biggest enemy is our own selves. It always has been for men. I mean, God. This concept of toxic masculinity is devastating. Absolutely devastating. This man up, be a man, all this stuff. Do you know, in essence, I don't have an issue with it. Weird as that sounds, like let's have that man up phrase. Reason it's bad is because what we're talking about is lots of harmful behaviors. And the ones I'm specifically talking about today are the ones that are harmful for us, right? We can't feel bad. We can't have emotion. We can't share those emotions. We sure as hell can't cry. And I just keep seeing YouTube after YouTube, TikTok after TikTok, videos of guys about my age, 10 years either side, answering the question, are you okay? And them just breaking down and saying, no, I am not okay. That's the world we live in. The sad fact is that the group of people in the world most likely to kill themselves look like me. And we can't talk about anything. It's not as bad as it once was, is the best I can say for it. Men live in a world where you have to be strong and powerful and get shit done. And to do otherwise is weakness, is failure, is pathetic, is a lack of manliness, etc. And BPD does not fit into that. It does not go into that. Being emotionally volatile, crying all the time, sometimes at seemingly nothing, all this stuff. It doesn't fit into that. We have to shove it down and get on with stuff. It's a thing. That's what we do. Big, strong men. Just shut up. Get on with it. And so we don't talk. We don't share. We just suffer in silence. And all of this stays bottled up until we do something drastic. And that's how we essentially experience BPD. Through that lens. Through that, I must be strong. I must, push those emotions way down. Don't share them. Don't cry. But of course, it's difficult to do that. These things do come out over time. These things spill out. We're little pressure cookers of emotion. And some of us are massive pressure cookers of emotion and get violent. You can just, the amount, that's the other option that is more available, more readily up the list of things we can do to get out anger that is available to men. We can fight. We can get violent. We can physically hurt other people. Some of us are better at that than others, of course. And doing that just to let out that rage, that emotion, that anger. Why are men fighting so much? We're so angry about stuff. There's so much stuff pent up inside. And BPD is no exception to this. We have these unhealthy coping mechanisms. We drink, we fight, we do all these other things because we're men and these are the things available to us to do. And so many of these things are so ingrained that they're just seen as like, oh, that's just how men are. That's just the way men act, whatever, you know? And it's how people in pain act a lot of the time. We can't talk. And we live in a world where weakness is pounced on and we are beaten down for it. You know, this is where that toxic masculinity hurts us so much. I mean, yeah, all the sexism, all of that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm here for us today, right? We're hurting us by doing this. And so I don't get why when we talk about masculinity and manning up, etc., that can't extend to the strength to share emotion and pain. Because I've honestly reached a point where I think that if anything is weakness, if I'm going to get really, I don't want to label anything as weakness, but if anything is, it's that we're not strong enough to share this pain that we go through. And maybe because we make it so hard for ourselves. We make it like we're not supposed to, or we make it so we're punished when we do. When I think of the BPD markers, you know, your fear of abandonment, your unstable relationships, your unstable emotions, emotional dysregulation, etc., all of them. They seem somewhat they don't fit in a male world. They don't fit in the classic male image, the classic stereotypical man. Because all these things, it comes from, we've got trauma. And that in itself can make you feel like you failed somehow. Like you are less of a man. Like you are damaged by something. So you're damaged. You know? Straight off the bat, you are working with that disadvantage. Because you could even be traumatized. And now you're trying to get over it. You can't talk about it. You're just meant to suck it up. And having the courage and the strength. You know, we talk about how people with NPD struggle to go for therapy because they think that everything's right. What about the men with BPD who struggle to go to therapy because they can't admit that anything's wrong? We do this to ourselves, and we're doing it with everything across the board. Like, yeah, this is BPD. But pick a thing, right? Pick a thing. Depression? Are we en masse going to our doctors to talk about this, guys? I don't think so. We just suck it up. You just got to get on, go to work, shut up, keep your head down, and then you can drink later. You know, I hate this. God, the pushing of alcohol on us that society does. There's nothing else like that. But go out, guys, get drunk. Because that's what we do. That's our coping mechanism, isn't it, right? God, we don't have a chance. Thing is, we do have a chance, don't we? We do have a chance because, I don't know, all of that stuff, it didn't stop me getting help. It hasn't stopped other men I've known from getting help. And yeah, there's been some, you know, there is some sort of pushback. There is an environment in which it happens, right? Because when I talk about telling my friends about BPD and NPD, And some people, this is a common thing that comes up every so often. What happened when you told all your friends? And some people have the horrible story, well, some people stopped talking to me when they found out I had MPD or whatever. But my own experience was, it wasn't bad like that. It wasn't that like people stopped talking to me or anything, but nobody cared. Nobody cared. And on the one hand, yeah, is that better than people deciding they don't want to be my friend anymore? Yeah, I guess I've still got friends, but no one cared. No one wants to know. No one gives a crap what it is. That's how we function. And that's not them. It's all of us. You got BPD? All right, yeah, cool. We're emotionally blocked off. We're emotionally shut down. But at least through that, because I don't need people to fawn over me and be, oh, you poor thing, tell me all about it. I don't need that. Right? But I can, it's a barrier. It's like no one cares. You're doing it alone. You're just isolated. Because we may have to go out of our way to support each other. Like, I feel it doesn't often come as naturally as we would like to think it would. Like, we have this whole brothers in arms thing, but I think in real life, when it really comes down to it, I don't know how much that's real. I don't know how much that exists in day-to-day life. Maybe if we were actually in a war, but we're not. Being a guy with BPD, trying to be strong, trying to be the man, doing what needs to be done, getting on with it, big, tough, strong, nothing can faze me. It doesn't fit into BPD. No wonder we try and hide it a lot. No wonder so many of us end up making unfortunate decisions about ourselves. I think we need to learn to talk more. There are groups that are set up around the country, at least in this country, that are for men to go and talk, because we don't. Right? I don't know anything about those groups other than they exist, and I imagine if they continue to exist, they must provide some men with an opportunity to talk, and I think that in itself is awesome. But we need to be able to say, I don't feel okay. I need help. I need a hug. I just feel like crying and crying. For me, the boat sailed on that one a while ago because I don't have much choice when it happens. I would stop it if I could because it's annoying. But, at the same time, I feel like I've gotten over that hump personally of, I don't care. So I cry. So what? Deal with it. And I'm never going to... I'm not someone who would look down on another man for expressing their emotions. And I hope that... I know I'm not the only one. It's not a brag. I think there's lots of us out there, so we need to start talking. You take care. I'll see you later. Bye.